Greetings, community, and welcome to NCBD Comics and another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads tomorrow for New Comic Book Day, 1/15/2025. And here we are once again, and we are still alive. I went through the fires, meaning, no, we're doing okay. We are just so far so good, and I am so glad that we are. I do pray for those in which that are just not doing so well right now. We will get through this. We will rebuild, and I'm just saying, it's been a little rough first couple weeks, but hey, speaking of which, let's go ahead and talk about what's coming out on this Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, 1/15/2025, off and starting with Mad Cave, after which that we go ahead and acknowledge those that decide that one, want to cruise in here on the rewind, and two, I want to say hi to those that decide to cruise on the live. Let's first acknowledge those that cruise in on first. And Las Cruces, I appreciate you, brother. And Tony, look at you. I appreciate you cruising on through. And Christina, I appreciate you being here and dancing with us all night long. And let's get to it. All right, Bleak, how do you say? What do you do? How do you know? What's new? Hope all is well. Seriously, I really do. Let's talk about what I stated before. Mad Cave is going to bring us only one issue this week for me, which is Gotcha Man issue number 6. This is going to bring us a new adventure with the team, and this Science Ninja team is going to divert their attention from where it's been mostly focused in the first 5 issues over to a story that's going to concentrate on a map. It may seem a little weird, but look, this is what I do recall when I used to watch this as a cartoon and even in the comics. They would frequently go ahead and do these like takeaways, removals, this whole different thing going on at a different time or at the same time, but something happens simultaneously. And I believe that's what we're going to get with the story here. So I'm looking forward to, I guess, something on a nostalgic level that I recall, but I'm interested to see how it translate in a modern day version of Gotcha Man. So I'm looking forward to this issue in particular, just because of how it's changing up the dynamics so much. I'm curious of how it works out. So again, Mad Cave, I totally and like massive gratitude that you've brought back such an awesome title, and Gotcha Man has not failed me yet on a very consistent and awesome story. Moving out from Gotcha Man, issue number 6 coming out on 1/15/2025. Let's talk moving over to the Boom Studios and talk about Wind, the Power of the Blood, issue number 2. Bear with me on this. There was quite a gap from the volume 1 to volume 2. And for those that may not recall, yeah, a significant battle was won, but the war wasn't. And that's why this picks up kind of telling where we're at, because if you kind of felt like there was a major victory, that was a very short-lived one. And this is where it picks up from there. And we're really seeing what is going on with the victory is not only so short-lived, but it wasn't really much of a victory at all when you really think about what it meant, what is transpiring in this overall war that's happening between the vampires, the regular people, the odd bloods, I guess, if I recall that they're. So there's so much going on that I think a lot of people got lost after the first volume was done, that no, this story is not ended. And we are just mere second issue into the second volume of a most wonderful story, in my opinion. So I actually, it might even be third volume. This is the third volume. So again, yeah, this has been an ongoing series in the sense of it's been now, what, 3.5 years, I think this thing's been going on. And I really have been enjoying it. So we are in a very desperate place for our hero, and unless someone comes to really significantly change things, yikes. Just saying. I really been enjoying the series, and it really is one of those that I actually have a slab of that I got Tiny to sign. It's one of those stories I truly enjoy, and I am not only like a Middle Earth lover, a fantasy style story lover, but Wind definitely has a neat little special place in my heart. So I really been enjoying this series. So again, Wind, the Power of Blood, issue number 2, coming out tomorrow, 1/15/2025. Let's move out from Boom Studios and cruise over to IDW, because they're going to give us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I mispronounce this quite often, Naruto. Hey, I think I did okay. Issue number 2. The first issue floored me, especially for someone that does not know this character at all, let alone the animated series. And I really been digging it. That, like I said, the first introduction just floored me, and I'm all in definitely. So I'm definitely looking forward to issue number 2, and I really liked issue number 1. Seriously, for someone that's totally ignorant of that character, loved it. And I know this better not be a start of a whole anime thing for me, because that, oh, talk about a rabbit hole. I'm just saying. So I'll just stick it out with IDW and the TMNT and Naruto issue number 2 crossover, and I'll just be happy with that. So again, moving out from that IDW and cruising over to another Dynamite. We're going to talk about Dynamite's Space Ghost issue number 9. Now, David Pepos has been killing it with this issue, and this is another one of those nostalgic stories that I've been really digging. When it first came out, I really had my reservations on how well the story was going to be told, but at the same point, I knew it was in competent hands, pencil, by the writer, because everything he's ever written in the past has really resonated with me. So, like I said, I was a little concerned, but only minorly. And so far, here we are, issue number 9 coming out, and this story just keeps getting better and better. What I really enjoy so far in the story is we're not only learning that, man, does Space Ghost have a heart, but damn, he has a heart of steel at the same point. He is the overall protector of our galaxy, and he does have a root, a heart, a love that develops the braveness that we've always seen in this heroine character. Hero, you know what I mean. This hero character of yore, but we never understood why. And that's what I believe David has been able to give us, is that insight, not only to the character, but allows us to care for the character in a way we never been able to do before. And that's really what I've been able to enjoy about this series, is not just the fact that, yes, it touches on aspects of my nostalgia, my childhood, but what it's been able to do to keep me there and keep me buying this book is it has an awesome story that just resonates with the heart. Man, it's back to the heart again, isn't it? That's going to be the overall theme of this, and you're going to end up seeing when I get to the last one. So again, Dynamite bringing out Space Ghost issue number 9, coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, 1/15/2025. Let's cruise out from Dynamite and talk about Image Studios, where they're going to give us 2 titles. First, starting off with Pharaoh issue number 9. I am a massive Tony Fleecs fan, so there's another one of those books that whenever I end up picking up almost anything from Tony, it removes any reservations that I have about spending my hard-earned money for something that I'm kind of questioning, is it going to be any good? In the case of Pharaoh, it's another one of the stories that it's been not only solid and good, but I think one of the only things that it's been able to bring out at me at times is a little bit of anger. I really get angry when I end up seeing some of these characters that I've truly enjoyed and developed a small reading relationship with get off in this series. It's kind of like in the story of Walking Dead, where you end up developing a relationship with one of these characters only to watch them get eaten alive or torn apart, or yeesh. Yeah, I'm digging Pharaoh. Again, Pharaoh, I highly recommend if you're not reading it and you're into that kind of, again, it's drawn in an Aristocat style manner, but it's definitely, and depicted in that way, but it's definitely a story that is more in line of your Walking Dead style fashion. It's the story of cats essentially trying to make their way and trying to get back to their owners, because once they got home, their owners have disappeared. They were ordered to leave their area due to the fact that there's been a rabies outbreak, and that pretty much encapsulates what's going on in Pharaoh. Pharaoh issue 9 coming out tomorrow, 1/15/2025. Let's move out from Pharaoh and talk about G.I. Joe issue number 3. Yeah, already, and I knew it. This cover's already hitting the streets with a little bit of retail uprising. This one cost me $2 more than the actual freaking retail. So not only is this cover been kind of hot, which I knew it was, Takayama's killing it, but the story in itself is actually really, really good. G.I. Joe is not quite the story it's told to us back in yore. It either is a Transformers, and yeah, Void Rivals has kind of started it all, bringing all these awesome stories of the Energon universe. But moreover, G.I. Joe, as it came out, kind of solidified the universe as we know it now today. And it's freaking awesome. So I've really been not only enjoying the story, but now that we end up getting all the foreplay development, we're now into the heart of the story. We're now seeing how the Transformers affect the G.I. Joe and Cobra, especially in this, as Well, I'm not going to give it away. I didn't read it, but I do have aspects of it that I read a while ago. And also what it's doing is it's, again, bridging all those gaps that we knew inevitably is going to end up transpiring, and it's slowly doing that now. And this is one of those issues that does that, and I don't want to ruin again. So again, G.I. Joe issue number 3 is really high on my list. I almost read it, but I didn't. So again, I'm looking forward to that one. But moreover, you'll see a couple on my list that are kind of higher on the pile. So moving out from Image Studios, and let's cruise over to Marvel Comics, and let's talk about, because there's a long list this week, Immortal Thor issue number 19. Look, if you've been reading it, you know this is probably one of the best stories that we've gotten in a few years, and it's when it first came out, it explained a lot of the past 2 volumes of Thor's that it was going on, and just kind of left us hanging. I really been enjoying this series, and it's hard for me to say much more other than if you've been reading it, then you know Thor. Moving out from the Immortal Thor, issue number 19. I know that was a quick hit, but let's talk about Incredible Hulk, issue number 21. This one I want to talk a little bit more because this new character, Charlie, is freaking awesome. When I was talking, I don't know, about a year ago about this character, what I was really interested was how not only Banner, but more importantly, Hulk had taken to this character. That I know of, she holds no relation. There's no reason why he should care, but he really was taken back. Again, the Hulk. So he decided that he was going to move heaven and go below earth to go ahead and reobtain this individual because of how much he cares for her. She has now coming back in issue 21, something totally different. She's changed in a new and awesome way. I just don't know how this relationship is going to change now, and being that she's now different. So again, I know I'm being vague, but I hate ruining stories. This new character is something that I've been really thoroughly enjoying. And not only that, but Incredible Hulk as a whole has been not only consistently awesome, but it's been one of the most thoroughly enjoyable Hulks, again, in the past few years, much like Thor. So I get, it's just, it ties in all the things that I really like about Hulk, which does give us a little bit of horror, but it doesn't overemphasize that. It gives us a little bit of caring and a lot of love, but it doesn't overemphasize the muddy up the horror aspects. There's so many elements that involve that I know I'm even losing sight of how awesome this story is done in the art aspect. It really, truly depicts every aspect that's been transpiring in the story for the past year plus. I can hang out going on forever, and I won't. Incredible Hulk issue number 21. I am dying to look into. Did I even get that one? No, I didn't. I almost did. Damn. It's that close. But hey, you know what I did get was Miles Morales issue number 29. Ba-ba-ba-da. The reason why I got this is I ended up getting a cover A, but I only saw 2 at my shop that they ordered the special homage variant. So I was like, you know what? Being that you guys ordered, I think it was like 50 copies of books, and you only ordered 2 of these, I'll take one, please. So I have been really enjoying this. Miles is having extreme difficulties. Luckily, Black Panther took him to Wakanda, and now with the assistance of, well, I don't want to ruin that if you're not caught up, but we're finally seeing a possibility of he, meaning Miles, ridding himself of this curse. Red Band was gnarly for many, and Miles in particular. And yeah, he's having a hard time dealing with this vampirism. And I really been digging what these past 4 issues, what this is leading up to. So I'm curious of what's going to end up transpiring, because we end up learning that he was worthy as far as one of the gods saying that he was worthy again to go ahead and go through with the cure, which means, in my opinion, I think he's due for another power up after this if he makes it through, which, come on, I'm serious. It's Miles, Spider-Man. Same. Cody Ziegler's been doing an awesome job, and I can't get enough. And that's why, again, Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 29 is pretty high up there on my list. Moving on from that, let's talk about What If Galactus transformed Moon Knight issue number 1. I have to admit, I wasn't really going to get this initially. I don't really read a whole lot of Moon Knight, but hearing my son yell in the other room as he's playing this Marvel video game, Moon Knight haunts you or something like that, I just had to get it, and I got it for him. So look, I ended up getting the 1 in 10 I am looking forward to go ahead and jumping in this. If nothing else, maybe I'll explain why the hell my son keeps yelling. Hey, I want to go ahead and acknowledge those cruised on through. Christina, Old Wolf, Las Cruces. No, I'm not done yet. Vet, Jigs, how you do? Hope you all is well with you. I appreciate everyone cruising on through on the rewind. And let's move on from What If Galactus Transformed Moon Knight to Ultimate Wolverine. Actually, yeah, I did go in that route, did I? Now I not only got this variant, which this was another one that there was it's cover C, and they only got 2 of them, even though they ordered I think they ordered 100 copies of this book. And if I recall, I believe they switch things around in this thing. Like they call Wolverine like the Winter Soldier, and they call like Bucky, like it's all flippy floppy, and I can't wait to get into this thing. You're like, well, how do you know? Well, I know a little bit, and I watch Billy. Billy, if you watch, yeah, I know you don't watch my show. Sorry, I watch Economics and Comics, and I watch the show on occasion, and a lot of occasions. And he was talking about it, so I not only was looking forward to this series, anyways, but I want to go ahead and get that variant in particular for the very reason why I know that is rather significant in the storyline. Can't wait to get into this one. So yeah, again, Ultimate Wolverine issue number 1 coming out on 1/15/2025. We're talking about the Spirits of Vengeance issue number 5. The spirit of violence has been hunting down these Ghost Riders, and we're getting closer and closer. We have an understanding of where the spirit of violence comes from, what is the ultimate goal, how individuals that we've been seeing in the case of another Ghost Rider has been harvesting a lot of souls to go down in hell, because we're seeing a huge movement that's looks like is building. I would imagine after we get this Doom stuff going on in the beginning of this year, it wouldn't surprise me that we end up seeing something probably happening either in summer or late summer as an event happening with the spirits. I would say some type of Ghost Rider event has to be happening, because there's just way too much going on. And again, the Spirits of Vengeance in the issue number 5 is again building all that up. I don't know if we're going to get the full identity of this. We do have identity and see what things were from as far as the Spirits of Violence, but I think we're going to get a new confirmation by issue number 6. Issue number 5 leads in that, and it shows what was happening in issue number 4. I just got through reading that, and oh my God, because we end up getting an identity in issue number 3. I know I'm hopping around, but if you're reading this thing, you know as well as I do, there's a whole lot going on, and I've really been digging it. This has not only been really enjoyable, but I end up finding out, which I almost say every time a new Ghost Rider book comes out, I never realize how much of a big of a Ghost Rider fan I am. It really excites me to get a new issue every time, because man, these books are on fire. Yeah. So again, Spirits of Vengeance, issue number 5, coming out on 1/15/2025. Moving on from Marvel Comics, let's talk about Dark Horse Comics, because we got 2 issues coming out from them. One is, could you guess? Could you guess? Could you guess? Could you guess? That's right. Just saying. Space Usagi, White Star Rising, issue number 3. I believe this finishes it out, and this finalizes everything that we've been doing in the past, or an augmentation of what's been kind of brought up from the old stories, along with the new introduction of Usagi's younger cousin tied into these storylines. But what we're going to get after this, I'm not trying to look too much past this, because issue 3 is going to be awesome. What we're going to get after this is all new stories, all new storylines, all new direction, all new everything. So again, the cool thing about this issue number 3 is not only has this been an awesome story, I've been enjoying White Star Rising, but what it does is it tells us that this is an end of an era and starting of a new one. Kind of an era thing. I'm just saying. I don't know. Almost brings a tear. Just saying. It's awesome. I've really been enjoying Usagi Gemini. I really think it was a smart move that Stan Sakai took this back over to Dark Horse. I do believe that this not only allows him to have almost like a return home, a reunion with individuals that he, not necessarily started from, but was doing his ongoing series without any problems with. But it does allow him to kind of just re-foot his roots back into a place that he started, and it was already nice and just perfect grounds for him to do what he wanted to. And here we are again, ending this, starting anew. It just seems like it's just going to be an awesome year with Stan Kai. And I just look forward to everything he's going to be putting out this year. Just saying. So issue number 3, Why Star Rising, coming out on 1/15, 2025. But what we're here to talk about, as you may have guessed, which is our Blue Light special. And this week is Kanto, issue number 6. Kai and I started 1-2 Comic Talk when we first met David Boer over at Golden Apple Comics when this comic first released way back when. I mean, shit, here we're talking way back in 2019. Holy Makatuni. And Kanto is another, as I stated before, it's a story of heart. There's a lot of soul in this. And now it's actually a story that has some poignancy behind it beyond the actual writer's story because of the writer himself. If I may, just momentarily, David Boer, the writer, recently just lost his home in Altadena. One of his lifelong dreams was to not only be able to just live in an area, but to obtain a book that I still hope that he was able to save, which was A Wizard of Oz first print, issue number 1. Or just, everything that I know I saw from his place is not only gone, but original works, arts, writing, all that stuff, all gone. In some stroke of oddness and I guess some weird form of irony, because this is, I made mention, a very much a story about the heart, Kanto. As I'm stating this, David Boer is now recovering from a heart surgery that he had to go through just after he lost his house. I'm only smiling because I don't want to cry. The guy is going through a lot of shit, and what hits me hard about the story is the whole time that's what Kanto is going through. He's going through a story that he knows it is bigger than him, his reasoning, his goal, his whole adventure is beyond him, and everything is for a reasoning of just love for others. And I believe that's so well encompassed by David, because he's, along with Drew Zucker and At-World and everyone involved in this project, which has been a 12-year project. Over the past 5.5 years, the story has been told. And it's been done, and at times of, just as I well stated, in adversity, times in its time in its infantile stages when it first launched it, and it's almost celebrity status, as well as it got known, being picked up and optioned and everything. I mean, so the fact that it's coming to an end, Kanto will never go away in my heart. The story, along with the writer and everyone that I've ever met, will forever in my mind, and my soul, and my heart, be part of something Kai and I started, and something that will forever shape how I look at life and how I look at my son and my family and everything, and many others around me, writers, artists, everyone. So again, the reason why Kanto is one of my most anticipated reads and why I'm so much looking forward to this is it's unfortunately it's a bittersweet end in some regard, but it's a more sweeter one than anything else, because I know what it represents. I know the individual who wrote this and the intent. I've been on this journey for so many years that it's not that I want it to finish. It's that I want to be there. I want to be with Kanto at the end of this journey. And that's what we all want for one another, is not only to be able to enjoy our medium and enjoy one another's enjoyment in our medium, but we want to be able to be whisked away, and not only in the stories and the characters, the writers, the artists, but I guess to have some meaning deeper than just what we read. And that's what I believe I've been able to get out of Kanto. And I believe overall, what my blue light special this week is beyond just wanting to read a book, is I'm expressing to all you guys that I not only care about you, but I care about what you read, and I care about what I believe you would like to hear me tell you what I'm reading because of how I feel about it. And just to say something real quick, thank you. I appreciate you being here. And that's it from me, Enter B. You all stay well.